In this video, we will going to set up the no internet connectivity checker script. So basically, while playing the game, if the player is not connected to the internet, then we can show up a message in the game, which is the no internet connection. And basically, we can even makes the game time scale to be zero. And as soon as the player reconnects to the internet, then we can basically call a custom function. For example, we can reinitialize the SDK and load the ads again in the game. And to set up all this, first we need to create an empty game object over here and call it as the no internet connectivity checker. And here we need to first reset this transform and add a component called internet connectivity check. This script basically will going to do the checks whether the player is connected to the internet or not. Here you can see the time scale value when internet. Basically, this means we can continue playing the game while when the time scale when there is no internet is set it to be zero. So we will going to make sure that the player do not able to play the game if the internet is not connected. For the no internet connection game object, you will going to find in the canvas. If you expand the menu, you will going to find this no internet pop-up that I created, which basically gets activated as soon as the player is not connected with the internet. By default, I will going to keep it to be deactivated and we're going to drag and drop this no internet pop-up over here. After this, for the call function when connected to the internet, now here we can define what to call when the player reconnects with the internet and start playing the game. In this case, let's say we want to re-enable the ads in the game. And for this case, currently I'm using the AdMob ads. So let's just drag and drop this AdMob ads, initialize the game object over here. And the method to call, we can choose here initialize and load ads. So basically, as soon as the internet gets back, then we will basically going to call this method to reload the ads in the game. Now here you can call any of your custom function just by drag and drop the mono behavior script over here from the hierarchy and then just choose the method which you want to invoke. Let's just, for more clarity, let's just call it as the internet connectivity checker. And then after, let's just click on the file, save the scene, and then go to the build profiles. Make sure to switch to the Android. After this, make sure to go to the open scene list. I will just going to load the scene number demo game. And after this, just uncheck the build app bundle and click on the build and run. Open up the game in the Android device. Here you can see there is no internet, basically no ads we can see right now. Let's connect to the internet now. Let me connect it to the Wi-Fi. And now as you can see that as soon as the internet is connected, we can see the native ads as well as we can see the AdMob ads in the bottom. Let's click on the play button here. And now let's click on the retry button and this is the interstitial ad. Let's close it. Great. So this is how you can restart the ads once the internet is reconnected. Here, if you select the internet connectivity checker, currently you can see if you select the add mobile ads initializer, the GDPR consent checkbox is unchecked as well as if you select the consent manager, the display consent is unchecked. Now, in case, let's suppose if the user for the very first time started the game and you wanted to display the GDPR consent, but due to the internet being not available, the GDPR consent message will not going to display. So in this case, when using the GDPR consent message, when basically the display consent checkbox here, as well as the use GDPR consent checkbox is checked, then we can select inside the internet connectivity checker, we can basically drag and drop this consent manager game object over here and choose the method to call initialize Google mobile ads consent. This will going to allow as soon as the internet is available, then it will going to show the GDPR consent message. And as soon as the consent is given by the user, then as we have specified in the consent controller script, we will be initializing and loading the ads. And every time after that, the game will restart. It will automatically going to initialize and load the ads once the consent is given by the user. Now, we have already talked about the GDPR consent message in a separate video tutorial. If you want to learn about it, you can watch that. So basically, this is how you can set up the internet connectivity checker and call your own custom methods. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.